Hey everyone, welcome back to the modern fable on success in business and life. How to perform a leader without a title. In this session 7, part 4, we are going to discuss about becoming the great leader you need to become a great human being. For that, we have discussed with you in the previous session about the 7 principles of the personal leadership. What are those? Let's repeat that once, then we will go further with this new session today. That is number one is learning. Learn from books and the leader who inspired you. Use the audiobooks for that. Then affirmation. Always the good thing will recited the affirmation. As today I am focused, excellent, and stunningly passionate in all I do. Visualization. Sit calm somewhere and visualize the thing what you want and what you have done. Generalizing is one of the most important tasks to get aware of yourself. Remarkably strong way to become a cleaner thinker, to build a massive amount of self-awareness. Goal setting. Set the goal and then reconnecting with your goal on a regular basis is a powerful success discipline. Exercises that are more important of a moving body daily to achieve peak performance at workplace. Nutrition are the most important. What we eat, we are fed. So it determines our performance throughout the day. Leadership is influenced by your diet. Then give yourself one of the best gift a leader without title can give himself. Great. So let me go to the edge and shine. It's getting late and I should get back to work soon. It is been a joy meeting you, Blake, but I don't want to forget about my client. They really depend on me. No worries, I replied. I understand completely. The edge will remind you that the health is wealth. I mentioned the importance of exercising and staying physically strong earlier. Peak health is like a tent pole, it lifts up everything else in your entire life. Get your health to its highest state and every other area. From your ability to think clearly about stressful times to your performance level and moods. Get pulled up with it. Health is one of those things we take for granted until we lose it. And those who do sadly spend 24 by 7 trying to get it back. If you lose your health, and I pray you never do, nothing else will as important as trying to reclaim it. Makes me think of the old proverbs. When we are young, we sacrifice our health for wealth. But when we become old and wise, we become willing to sacrifice every bit of our wealth for just a day of good health. And if you don't believe me on this point, Black, when you are done today, you are on your way home. Stop by a hospital, walk into the terminal ward where people lie on their deathbed, and ask any one of them, what they did give for a extension on their lives. Ask them what they do give for just one day of excellent health. I am sure they will tell you that they do give everything they have. If you lose your health, you lose everything. Don't ever let that happen to you. I felt silent ever since I returned home from the war. I didn't show much concern for my health. I do stopped exercising. I ate junk food. I didn't rest enough. It occurred to me as I stood before this masterful message therapist that if I started taking my health more seriously and got back into exceptional physical condition, almost every other part of my life truly would improve. I to have more energy at work and would feel more positive about things in general. I do possibly be a lot more creative and I do definitely feel more passion. I do have a greater stamina and be tougher amid all the changes our organization was going through. In my home life, I wouldn't need to flag out on the couch so much. I could start learning new skills and doing more fun things. I'd feel better about myself and have more adventure. Health is the crown on the wall man's or well man's head that only the ill man can see. Jet added powerfully. Please don't tell me you have no time to exercise each day. Those who don't make time for daily exercise must eventually make time for daily illness. You know, health is the crown on the well man's head. Jet's advice was simple and yet tremendously important. I took it all to heart. Oh, and please remember that your health will never be better than your self image. When you really start to believe in your natural leadership power and how awesome you truly are, your behaviors around your health will improve dramatically. But it's all beings within, he emphasized. This all makes sense. It is really don't think that much of myself. I am not going to take great care of myself. Exactly, he replied, looking pleased with my comment. The I in Shine stands for Inspiration Matters. Tommy noted. You, said Jet. A day without feeling inspired is a day that you haven't fully lived. You need to refill your well of inspiration every day because the challenges of life will drain it every day. How can you inspire your teammate at work and energize your customer to buy from you if you are uninspired and de-energized yourself? You always want to do whatever it takes to be the most inspired person in the room. I love the sound of that. Jet, some practical suggestions for me, please. Listening to music is one of the best way I know to drive huge level of inspiration. It means if you feel that you are not getting inspiration, Just listen the great music that will give you a huge level of inspiration, associating with interesting people who love being remarkable. Second thing you have to associate with those people, connect with those people who are in your interest and who love being remarkable, ethical, and original will also fuel your passion and provoke you to be your leadership best. Commune with the nature is yet another effective way. The third step, what you have to do, you have to at least 30-minute commute with the nature every day. That is effective way to get your creative fire burning and keep you excited about achieving great thing at work. Whatever I get a chance, I head out to the countryside. Walking alone in the woods is like a miracle. For the stress of this city, I leave the woods feeling truly alive again. The view of the majority is that things like being out in nature and doing things to renew spent reserve of creativity and energy are a pure waste of time, and that if you are not doing something, you are not really doing anything but refueling your mind, body, emotion, and spirit actually allows you to grow tougher against the turbulence businesses. So, always when you have to come out from the turbulence time and be a tougher in all the bad way, you have to refuel your mind, body, energy, and spirit with the inspiration. For that, you have to follow two and three activities. Go for lovely music, associate with the great people, commute with the nature. These are three steps you need to follow to get more inspired. If all you do is playful out all the time, your reservoir of potential will become depleted or depleted and you will burn out fast. Star performer understand the need to constantly alternate between peak performance and inner renewal. And once the leader with you is replenished and re-inspired, you will go back to work even stronger, even more creative, and far more exhilarated. The activity I am encouraging you to pursue serve to reawaken the inner leader, the rekindle our passion and open my close doorways into our absolute best. And the end in shine, I asked, neglect not your family. Your loved one matter. What is the point of becoming super successful? As I sense you will soon become, but ending up completely alone. A lot of those billionaires I mentioned when you first got here spend a lot of lives solo in their speculative mansions. What is the point of that? A huge amount of joy can be found in cultivating beautiful relationships with your family and friends. At the end of the day, Blake, you really don't need that much to be really happy. Work you can be proud of, food on your table every night, wonderful health, and people you love, a solid foundation at home set you up for strong and solid result at workplace. Feeling cared for and loved by your family is much a powerful accelerator for your leadership and personal success. Which brings me to the E jet noted. The E in my acronym will remind you about the fifth rule of personal leadership. Elevate your life. Life isn't something that we speak about every often, but it is so important to a life well led. Do something every day to improve your lifestyle. As I suggested earlier, go through life first class. You only live once, so why not enjoy it completely? But I thought you said having a lot of things isn't what genuine leadership is about, Chad. That is definitely not the priority for leaders without a title. Black. But please remember, it is every human and natural to want to have nice things. Why people guilty about having them? Because speculatory great in the work you do awaken your inner leader. And most certainly express your absolute best, but enjoy life along the way. The real key is to get the things you want while making sure they don't get you. And that brings me to my final point of our conversation. Jet's face grew serious. He looked down for a moment. Tommy stood up and walked over to join us. Nice things are nice to have. A beautiful lifestyle is a beautiful thing to experience. But who you are becoming as a human being is a much smarter concern. The main aim in life is simply to become all you are meant to be. You should understand and know your inner self. Actually, even more important than who we are becoming as people or human beings, focusing on the difference we are making as leader. Contribution is the ultimate purpose of work and life. You have to contribute everything or every time in your life. Success is not about what you receive, blank. Success is all about what you return. Like I said, even the longest life is a pretty short journey in the overall scheme of existence. And all that is. Tolstoy wrote one time a wonderful short story called How Much Land Does a Man Need? For what and why? You need to detail out that story of Tolstoy's. The moral of the story was that at the end, all the things we spend the best days of our lives chasing really don't matter that much. Means we spend most of the important time things of our life to get or find that thing that doesn't matter us at all. So that's why be satisfied in a little and get involved every day and do something extra to improve yourself. Connect to your inner sense. All that we really need once our lives get to the end doesn't amount to much more than about 6 feet of soil. What truly count then is what we will leave behind. So success is not that what you receive, success is that what you have returned. What I am really encouraging you to think about is your legacy. I am inviting you to consider how you want to be remembered when you are no longer here. The great and glorious legacy of a human being is to live with purpose. Observe the philosopher Montage. It will be a deep loss to this world if you refuse to accept the call on your life to lead without a title and present your absolute best to the lives around you. Leader without a title think about their legacies. Every single day, they think about how they want to be remembered when they are no longer alive. They think about what achievements they need to get done so that they leave their mark for the generations that will follow. They consider what kind of people they must become so that their lives stand for something excellent, meaningful, and powerful. Get these things right, and a glorious legacy will be used for the living. And then, when you are no longer here on this earth, people will walk into your bookstore. See that plank on the wall next to the section you used to work in that bears your name and say, ah, there once worked a bookseller who led without a title and gave the finest he had to give. I felt emotional welling up within time, so please remember, Blake, that this day and every day until the last of your day or your breath is nothing more than a platform for heroic possibility. The real question is whether you will have the courage to use this opportunity to shine your own special form of greatness into this uncertain world of business we now work in. And once you do, you will enrich the lives of your teammates and your customers and also your loved one. And you will forge a human moment of passionate achievement that all those who will come after you will marvel at and be inspired by. Silence filled the space when we were standing. Tommy didn't move, neither did Jet. I thought tears might begin to flow from my eyes. I wasn't sure what I should do. Then, in a dramatic instant, Tommy lifted up an arm and slapped Jet on his back. Man, you are too intense. Snap out of it, my brother. He laughed. Jet begged to giggle and began to giggle. I know, I know. Soon, all three of us were laughing hilariously and hilariously. It was a fantastic moment. Once I will never forget, or one I will never forget. But then something utterly unexpected happened. Tommy began to cough again. The attack began mildly, then quickly turned violent, with Tommy not only coughing up blood but also beginning to shake terribly. I rushed over to him and did a jet and tried to assist him in any way I could. It is my time, was all he could whisper. It's now my time. So time is your and that get your time always for yourself. Keep in mind the three things: improve your knowledge, get your things done, and love the people to be with you. The fourth leadership conversation of the leader. Lead without a title philosophy tells us that to be a great leader, first become a great person. How you can do that, you need to follow the five rules. That five rules are: see clearly, health is wealth, inspiration matter, neglect not your family, and evaluate your lifestyle. In the instant, you have to do some actions right away. So you have to start write a journal, and in that journal list five things you will do immediately to refuel your inner leader and take your mind, body, emotion, and spirit to their next level of excellency. Then schedule time to execute these five goals flawlessly during the next 7 days so you get the power of momentum working for you. Leadership quote to remember is here that Henry David Thoreau said, if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavor to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. So, this is all about the conversation on the lead without a title philosophy, the leader who had no title, and the fourth conversation to be a great leader first become a great person.